I feel like I need to just poll the audience about what to do in this kind of situation. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a lovely, wonderful, fantastic day. So today we're just going to be doing like a nice, cozy, relaxed, super chill, sit down, talk, chat, get ready with me kind of thing. So you can grab yourself a snack, you can grab yourself a Diet Baja Boo Blast. If a Boohoo Blast were a thing, you know, you could grab that, you know, just get yourself a nice beverage and we're just going to sit and chat and catch up a little bit. I feel I can't set this down because my desk is so messy. I feel like I did one of these like just a couple weeks ago, but to be honest, you guys, my brain is just kind of like mush. Like it's just mush. And I'm having a hard time doing things and functioning in everyday life. So I figured we'd just sit down today and just relax and chill and chat a little. Oh, the mirror reveals all the secrets. Oh, okay, so Kentucky decided to be hot today all of a sudden out of absolutely nowhere. I'm wearing a full sweatsuit. Full gray comfy sweatsuit. And I was telling my husband, I was like, man, I'm toasty. And he was like, why don't you change out of your full gray sweatsuit? And I told him blatantly and honestly, it's because I don't like wearing anything else. The only thing I could replace out of this outfit comfortably would be the sweatpants with leggings. And those are basically just like stretchy plastic. So like there's no winning. Because since my brain is mush, for some reason clothes just don't work anymore. Clothes are not like a thing that I can do right now. It's just sweatsuits. All right, so first things first, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a Tater update because he did unfortunately have another seizure yesterday, which I am quite sad about. I was really hoping that we kind of had his seizures under control. It had been 45, I think, days since his last seizure, which is really great. But unfortunately, he did have another one yesterday morning. It just happened. It happens out of the blue. There's really no like knowing that it's gonna happen. We were in bed. He was just kind of under the covers. He wasn't overheating or anything. He had been overheating the night before, but I had gotten up in the middle of the night and made sure he got some water and like cooled him down and stuff. But he wasn't overheated and he just unfortunately went into another seizure. Man, sorry, maybe I shouldn't have started out with this update. It always makes me a little bit sad. We were able to get him out of the seizure because the last time we had gone to the vet, they had given us some syringes to like put into his nose to like stop the seizure as it's happening. We had a really hard time, honestly, though, like getting the syringe into his nose. He was kind of like thrashing around a bit and he was like chomping. This is the first time he's ever done the chomping motion while having a seizure, and this one was a bit intense. It lasted nearly 3 minutes, which is that's almost too long. Well, any amount of seizure length is like too long, but getting into that 3 to 5 minute range is like too long. So fortunately, we were able to like finally get the liquid into his nose, and that stopped it pretty much immediately, which was really great. When he came out of this one, he was, kind of out of it and stuff. His eyes are really big. He did growl just like one time, but we were able to give him space, and then he was able to kind of get back to his normal self pretty quickly. We went ahead and called the vet, but this time we didn't immediately take him in or make an appointment because last time when we took him to the vet, it stressed him out, and since he's already in that like state to want to go into a seizure, like his brain is kind of primed for a seizure, that stress just took him right into another one like at the vet's office. So this time we were gonna wait. We obviously would have taken him to the emergency vet and not the other vet's office if we were going to take him in. Basically we said like if he has another seizure, back to back, because that's considered a cluster seizure, 2 or 3 in 24 hours time is a cluster, and that's dangerous. So we waited this time, and I'm actually really glad that we did because he was able to stay at home. He was less stressed, and we found, which I don't want to say this like 100% like works and 100% works all the time, but I found this technique that if you press on their nose, like between their nostrils, kind of at the bottom, like it's supposed to help them come out of a seizure faster or like help prevent them going into a seizure if you start seeing them go into one. And a couple of times he started like going into what was going to be a seizure. So we noticed like if his eyes get really big and he starts staring off into the distance, sometimes he might start drooling a little bit, that's kind of like a pre-seizure and he's about to go into one. So we tried the nose pushing technique, and I like rubbed his ears at the same time and spoke to him really softly, and he was able to come out of like 3 to 4 different pre-seizures, which fingers crossed, that really did help, and that really was able to like take him out of it, because if that's a technique that we can use in the future, if we notice him like kind of going into those pre-stages, that would be amazing. That would be truly amazing. Thankfully, knock on wood, he had no more seizures that day, no more full real seizures, and we decided to go ahead and up his Keppra dose. We had reduced it when he started the phenobarbital. We went ahead and upped it again, and I also ordered him some like food that's supposed to be specifically for like neurological biological care, and I got him some special puppy oil and I really hope it helps. I've seen some really great things about it, so kind of excited about that. I'm really hoping that all those things together are going to help him and we're going to see like a huge reduction in seizures, hopefully. But yeah, so that's a little bit of a Tater update. He fortunately did not have to go back on seizure watch. He has been over 24 hours seizure free, again, knock on wood, and he's doing good right now. He's doing good. Oh, nothing like a watered down Diet Baja Blast. Alright, so the next update is that we finally were able to open our second store. Our opening was this past Saturday and it went really well. It honestly went really well, like shockingly well. We did some advertising and stuff, not a ton of advertising because I was in charge of it and I'm real bad at doing things.
Oh great, I just bronzed my under eye. I didn't even notice I gave myself more dark circles than I already had.
So like social media stuff, I should be good at it, but I am not. I am not. So running like ads for Instagram and Facebook and that kind of stuff and like keeping people like posted and updated, I'm the worst. Am I in charge of our social media? Yes, I am. Should I be? Probably not. I was just surprised by the turnout based on like how much we advertised it and that kind of thing, but it really went well. It went so well. We still had a ton of stuff to do and we still have a ton of stuff to do, but that day I was like, it was fine. It's fine. Like, you know, people definitely aren't going to be here like as soon as we open. We'll have time to get things kind of organized, kind of like set up. We'll have time to finish these like crafts that I didn't finish. No sir, no sorry Bob. There's people coming into the store like 20 minutes. That freaked me out. Sorry, that really freaked me out. There's like a piece of an eyelash stuck to this little container top there and I thought I just like brushed my finger over a spitter. So anyway, we had people coming into the store like 20 minutes before we were even open, which was fine. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, come on in. You know, I was running around like crazy. I had scissors in my hand, like chopping up things and like, you know, tying bows on stuff, trying to set out like jams and preserves for taste testing and like get the water and coffee all set up for like, you know, refreshments. And people just kept coming in and in and in. At one point there was like a line at the door to get in before we even opened, and that was it was a madhouse, but it was so much fun. And the community really, they're being so supportive. They were so excited to have something like this in like our downtown area, and everybody was talking about how they can't wait to come back and shop more. Like it was very exciting. So one of the big things about our new store is that we really wanted to have a lot of local artisans. So we have several vendors right now and we have people doing jewelry and we have some people doing like dried flower bouquets and real live like plants, which I think that's really cool. I cannot keep real life plants, you know, alive. They put them in like cute little repurposed jars and containers and stuff and it's really adorable. My aunt, who owns a bed and breakfast, who is a wonderful cook and a great like baker and a candy maker, she brought in a ton of little treats and goodies and people were going crazy over those. And then my mom made like 300 candles for our opening day and people were loving them, and there is just, I don't know, it was just a really nice feeling. It was a really nice feeling. People were being so nice and supportive about the store. They were being so nice and supportive about all of our artisans. I would really like to do like a whole store video for you guys and take you through apparitions and through 2nd and Main so you guys can kind of see what we've done. Apparitions looks so different than when you guys first saw it years ago, if you guys have been around that long. That first video I did of like a store tour, it looks completely different now. So I would love to show you guys both stores. I'll probably do that in one video. But yeah, that's just our new store and I'm just really excited that it went so well. A couple of you guys actually came to see me and that was so much fun. It meant a ton to me, it really did, and you guys are the best. So just a thank you so much. Something else that I want to talk to you guys about, which I think is just like a little funny life thing. It's kind of like a funny coincidence. You all know that we have been looking for a house, or maybe I shouldn't eyebrow gesture too much while I'm trying to put brown pasty stuff on my eyes. So if you didn't know, we have been looking for a house and like it's been like a kind of serious house search, and then also like, well, if we don't find one, it's not the end of the world. There's no like true need to move right now. And I think that's why we've been kind of particular about the house that we get, because right now we're living in the house that was passed down to me by my grandma, and I do love this house and I don't want to move from this house unless like I really find the house that is, it makes it worthwhile leaving this house for that one. So I feel like that's why we've been kind of particular, but we did actually put an offer in on a house, and this was a while back. So we put an offer in, and I don't know if I mentioned it to you guys, and basically like it was practically a mansion. It was practically a mansion to me anyway. I don't know what classifies as a mansion, but this was quite a large house, and I think things probably did work out honestly for the best, because this probably was too much house for us and probably too much work, but it was an amazing house. It truly was. It's a house that's on the historical register here in Richmond. And if you guys don't know, I graduated from my undergrad program and my master's program with degrees in history, so I'm into history. So this house had like a lot of local history to it, and there was like some historical importance to it, like more than just locally. It was built in the later 1800s, and like I said, there's just a lot of history to it. It was a gorgeous home, and like the crazy thing about it, it was downtown, fairly near my parents actually, which would have been pretty cool, but it was downtown and it had 4 acres. Where are you gonna find 4 acres downtown? Nowhere else. So we were pretty much like awestruck by this house when we drove up to it. It has this like circular kind of driveway thing. I'll put some Zillow pictures here on the screen. The facade of it had like a big porch. I could just picture like a porch swing and like this beautiful acreage with like trees and stuff. And it was going for an insanely low price for the square footage and the acreage, like insanely low price. So we pull up to this house and I'm in love. I'm already in love. And then, but going into it, I knew, like, I was like, this is probably too much house and it's probably too much work. But I had to see it. So we go in and it's beautiful. Yes, it needs work because it was apartments. It was like 6 or 7 apartments. So, you know, it needed a little bit of help. There was also 6 to 7 full kitchens because they were apartments. There were 6 to 7 bathrooms that needed some serious help, some real bad help. There were, you know, some lovely like shag carpeting. There is a lot of stuff that needed a lot of work, but the price was just so good. It was just so good for so many square feet and so many acres, like in town. Like it was kind of a dream. It was really a dream. Like this, I could just see myself like spending my years like, you know, renovating it. You know, it wouldn't be something that we could do all at once, but you know, we could take our time and like live in certain areas and just take however long we needed to really pour our hearts into it and just renovate. I could just visualize it as soon as I walked in. I was like, this is a forever home. This is a home that you grow into. This is like, it's a dream. It truly is a dream. So walking through it, we walked through with my dad and my mom, and my dad is in construction. He knows all of the contractors. Like he worked at Lowe's for like 30 years. But that being said, all of that's fantastic. He also, like as we were going through, he was just calculating in his head how many billions of hours it was going to take to renovate this and how much money and that kind of stuff. So he was probably a little bit of a harder sell on the house, but I'm over here like in dreamland just dreaming about this beautiful home. I'm like, the Christmas tree would look gorgeous right here, you know, like that's what I was thinking. So we went to the house. I absolutely loved it. I could see the full potential. The property was gorgeous. Like I just got this like, you know, chest pounding feeling like as we drove up to the property and stuff. Just loved it, and my husband loved it too, and we talked about it, and we, you know, agreed that it would be definitely a passion project. It would be something that we would have to work on like the rest of our lives kind of thing. Just because the cost associated with purchasing the house, even though like again an insanely good price for what it was, but the renovation costs, like we were taking all this into account and stuff, and we knew that if we like put in a bid on it, it was going to be the, like a long haul kind of thing. Like this wasn't going to be something that we could like buy and easily renovate and then just be done with. It was going to be for the long haul. I think that we both just loved it so much that we just kind of were like, okay, we understand the cost associated, the hours of work that is associated, all the stuff that is going to be associated with purchasing this house, but we put in an offer anyway. We had to. So we put in an offer that was even over asking just a little bit, just to be like a little bit more competitive, because we knew that this was going to be like a pretty, people were going to be fighting for this one, at least we thought. And then I typed up like a whole letter about like our future home, our dream home, sent that to the seller. We submitted our offer, and then we found out actually at my wedding that one of my dad's friends also put an offer in on this house. But this man has money. This man has money, and we know he had a lot more money than we did. We were just like, oh, like, you know, okay, well, we're probably gonna lose out to him, because I'm sure he offered well over what we were offering because he has a lot more money than we do. But the thing is, this is like a real estate man, so he wasn't gonna be purchasing it to move into it. Like this wasn't gonna be his forever home kind of thing. He was gonna purchase it to tear down the house and subdivide the 4 acres into multiple properties. which is heartbreaking. To me, that was heartbreaking. But my dad's friend, being incredibly kind, because he knew that we put an offer in on the house, he retracted his offer. So he had put in an offer that was well over the offer that we had put in. And he was kind enough to retract the offer, and I thought that was very, very nice of him. And I felt really bad about it for a little while. Even though he was gonna like tear down the house, I felt bad that he retracted his offer. But then he took that same money and then bought a whole bunch of other houses. He's a real estate guy. Like he's just buying and selling and buying and selling. So I was like, okay, you know, that's incredibly, incredibly kind of him. So we had put in our offer and we were waiting for a response. We were waiting to hear back, and we wouldn't hear back until we were on our honeymoon. On our honeymoon, we were sitting in a little bar in Edinburgh, and our realtor called us and she told us that unfortunately they had selected another offer and we would not be getting the house. We didn't get the house, of course, and I definitely was sad about it. I definitely cried a little bit in the Edinburgh bar because we didn't get that house. I could just, you know, I could picture what it would be like after all the work was done and stuff, but at the same time, like, I knew how much work it would be, so there was like a tiny hint of relief as well, because that's a big venture to go into, and trying to like redo a house on top of opening a store, on top of having another store, on top of doing YouTube, might have actually, my head might have popped off. Like I don't know if I could have handled all of that, but at the same time, that Christmas tree would have looked so good in that foyer. But this is where like the funny coincidence comes in. So we are still looking at houses, right? We're still looking for a house to buy. And we went to go look at another kind of older home, and I actually liked it. I think the downstairs was really nice, but there wasn't like much of an upstairs space, and it was a little bit pricey, and it was a little bit well over what it should be for the area. So unfortunately, even though we did kind of like it, it didn't have the basement we were looking for. It didn't have a master upstairs, and it was kind of overpriced, and it needed a lot of work on the outside, like the roof. So a lot of things that needed work with that one. So then another house comes up for sale on the same street as our dream home. The same street. Not only is it the same street, it's like practically in the yard of our dream home at the end of the 4 acres. But like from that house, I could like look out the window and see our dream home right there. So I gotta say, like, I was honestly a little bit hesitant to go see this house because I could literally like stare at the house that I really, really wanted, like from the living room. So that would have been a little bit sad. But we go look at it anyway, and it's a really nice house. It's a really cute house. The downstairs area is beautiful. I love like the kitchen. It has a little basement as well, which is nice. It's something that we're looking for. And there is an upstairs. The master is upstairs, although it's not like a true master. The bathroom is really, really tiny. So we were trying to figure out like a way that maybe we could make like a master suite with like, you know, the bathroom and the closet actually kind of attached. But again, this house was just a little too expensive. It was a little too expensive. The funny thing is, this is where it all comes together. So that second older house that we went to go see, those people were trying to purchase the house that we were currently seeing that was in the yard of our dream home, because those people in the house that we were currently in that could see the dream home from its living room, they are the ones who purchased the dream home. So they were moving from that house literally like next door into what was our dream home, and then the people of the other house that we went to see were trying to sell their house to purchase that house that the people left to move into our dream home. And the reason that their house is so expensive is because the dream home people were selling their house for too expensive because they needed the money to pay for the dream home. You see how that all like comes together? And to further that, the people who purchased our dream home would have lost out on the bid for that house if we hadn't put a bid in, because our friend retracted his bid, which was higher than their bid. Isn't that nuts? That's just a whole, like, all sorts of coincidences and things coming together. So I thought that was really interesting. Just like the, you know, the coincidences of everything. Like, those people wouldn't be in that house if it wasn't for us, and we wouldn't have looked at their house if it wasn't for that other house, and so on and so forth. Anyway, all that to say, we're still looking for a house. For now, we are still, you know, just looking. Looking at Zillow is just fun anyway. I look all over the place on Zillow, and I think it's a good time. I don't know what I'm doing currently with my makeup, but I'm using this BoxyCharm card to do it. It's hot as heck in here. Baja Blast. Oh, you guys, I finally got all my wedding pictures. I got them all back, which is very exciting. It did take quite a while to get them back, but I have them all back now. There are a bunch of them. There are a bunch of them, and I don't know if you would like to see them or not. It's been a long time since I got married. I don't know if anybody like cares to see them anymore. I also have my wedding video, and I kind of want to post that as well if you would care to see it. It's only like a little like 5-minute like highlight reel kind of thing, but if you guys would want to see that, I can post that as well. I promise I'm not as sad as I look in the video. I promise I'm not. I look kind of sad and kind of angry for a lot of it, but I'm really not. I think it was just nervousness. Sorry, I just randomly remembered that and I got kind of excited, but yeah. So that's something that you all can see if you'd like to. Okay, so one little last thing that I want to talk to you all about, and this is just a very personal thing, but I feel like I just need some life advice because I'm coming to this realization today and it's making me sad. It's making me pretty sad. I feel like I need to just poll the audience about what to do in this kind of situation. So let's just say that basically I've had a friend that I've known practically my entire life. Like the whole thing. Life, I mean. Like I've known her basically since I was born. We were best friends for a very long time, and then, you know, as you do, you kind of part ways. That just happens sometimes. Unfortunately, we just kind of parted ways because like life, you know, got different for both of us. But because I have known this person for so very long and she was such a like big part of my life for so many years, I invited her to my wedding and she came and it was really lovely and we cried and we hugged and like I was really happy she was there and I was excited that she wanted to be like still in my life a little bit, and you know, we talked for a while and that kind of thing, and then we hadn't really talked since the wedding, but I wanted to reach out to her so we could like get together and, you know, hang out and catch up and reconnect. So like a week ago I get a text from this friend and she's like, hey, do you want to go out to dinner? And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. Like I was really thinking about like contacting you so we could get like back together, we could reconnect, you know, we were like best friends for a long time. Like, yes, I would love to go to dinner. And I responded like very excited, like exclamation points. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. And I told everybody, I was like, oh my gosh, like we're gonna reconnect. It's gonna be great. Like all these kind of things. So then as we're talking, I'm telling her about the new store opening and I'm kind of apologizing for not being able to text back immediately because, you know, we have a lot going on with the store opening and stuff. And she's kind of sending like multiple texts back every now and then, and she's like, oh, you know what? Like I'm so excited for you starting your new store, opening your new store. I'm also starting a new business, which that's awesome. That's super exciting. And then she sends you a link to her new business, and it's some type of collagen and like beauty supply thing, and it seems a little bit like it might be, you know, like it might a little bit be like this. So I looked at the website and I googled the company, and it does appear that it is some type of like MLM something, right? So now I'm like, oh, okay. And in the back of my head I'm like, okay, so I'm really hoping this dinner you invited me to was to not try to like get me into your downline or like sell me on a product. Like I'm really hoping that this was a way for us to reconnect and not to like, you know, sell me a product. So I respond and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Like, you know, congratulations. I really like wish you the best. I hope everything goes super well. And at this point I'm still thinking, okay, like maybe she really does want to like reconnect and stuff. And this isn't just like some type of like, you know, hey girl, like I haven't seen you in so long. Let me tell you about my new business kind of thing. So I get busy again with the store. I'm not able to text her back immediately, but when I do, I send her like a really long text, like all these things. Like I was talking about all sorts of stuff again, congratulating her, wishing her the best, telling her how our store opening went and like talking about like all sorts of like details with that. I'm also talking about like, you know, asking her like how her vacation is going. She's on vacation. It's like a big long text with like a whole bunch of stuff in it. And then I heard back from her pretty quickly, and all she sent was, hey, my website is back up, and then sent me the link, and then she said, if you want to check it out. So completely ignored a big long message of, you know, all sorts of things that I sent her, and basically just re-advertised her website to me. And that's when I started getting a little bit more like disheartened. Definitely disheartened, because I was thinking like, oh, this childhood friend of mine that like I invited to my wedding, like we're gonna reconnect, it's gonna be great. And at this point, like I'm getting a little bit concerned that basically she's either just trying to recruit me or like sell me a product. So I haven't responded to that message yet. I haven't heard anything else from her, like no response to that big long message that I sent her. And then another one of my friends that we both went to school with at the same time, we saw each other at the wedding, we've known each other for years and years, she messaged me today about something unrelated, and then at the end of like talking about that, I was like, by the way, has so-and-so contacted you recently? And she said, oh my gosh, yes, I'm afraid like what she's doing is pyramid scheme, like all this kind of stuff. And I was like, I knew it. I knew it. So I don't really think she was trying to reach out to me personally to reconnect or anything. She was just trying to, you know, get her business off the ground. But you know, good for her, trying to make money however, you know, you can, that kind of thing. I'm just a little bit sad. So now I don't know what to do. We're supposed to go to dinner this Friday, so I don't know if that's still on, if I'm not gonna buy any of her products, or I'm not gonna like be part of her downline, or, you know, be recruited to her business. And I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle the situation. Like I don't know how to respond to her just sending me the link to her products to buy. I don't know what to do. And this might be way too personal. Y'all might be like, why are you asking me? I don't know. I just feel like I need advice, because I don't want to be rude, but I also don't want to like spend my Friday evening like sitting at a table while like one of my used to be best friends of many years just tries to sell me on a product, and then if I don't want that product, or I don't want to be part of this business, like might never talk to me again or something. I don't know. Again, this might be way too personal, and I'm very sorry if it is. I just feel like I need advice, and I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And who knows, like I might buy some products from her or something just to, you know, kind of help out. I just don't like the way it was gone about. It feels very like shady. It feels just, I don't know. I feel like I'm just being used a little bit when I really thought that she genuinely wanted to reconnect. It's just not the best feeling in the world, because I was so excited. I was like hyped. I was like, yeah, let's get dinner. Like, let's be friends again. Let's talk and hang out and go shopping. And like, that's what I kind of had like in my head. And she still might want that too. I don't know. But at the same time, it feels like she had, you know, just a different motivation to reach out and want to reconnect than just like genuinely wanting to reconnect. And that's what's a little bit sad about it. So I don't know, just let me know your all's advice down below in the comments. Like I said, this is a very relaxed, kind of extra personal get ready with me, which I'm gonna go ahead and do my mascara real fast off camera because it's getting a little scary. Alright, so I saw a comment about this like color changing stuff from Euphoria, and this specifically says don't put it on your lips. You're not supposed to put it on your lips, but I saw a comment, somebody saying they put it directly on their lips and they use it on their cheeks and they love it. So now I really want to put it on my lips. I was gonna say what's the worst that could happen, but I guess like my lip skin could peel off or something. That wouldn't be great. I feel like I just gotta try it just a little bit because I kind of want like just a pink look with this, like a very sheer pink look. Okay, we're just gonna do it and see what happens, and then like if something awful happens, I guess I'm a guinea pig. I'm a warning. I'm a caution. Don't do what I do. That is very pink. That might be more than the light wash of pink that I was going for. Let me take a little bit of that off. Oops, I stained my pants. I am now no longer wearing a fully gray sweatsuit. Okay, well, you know, it's my life. That's what's going on in my life. Let me, you know, what's going on in your life? Let me know down below in the comments. You guys have anything probably too personal to share? You can share that down below in the comments. My mouth is burning a little bit. Maybe I should take this off. That's a blanket. That's a blanket, not a towel. Alright, maybe listen to instructions. Maybe, again, don't do what I do. Anyway, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so very much for watching. Thank you so very much for listening to me ramble about my personal things for like probably 40 minutes. I don't know how long this video is going to be. And yeah, if you like more incoherent ramblings, then please feel free to go ahead and subscribe or consider subscribing. It would mean the absolute world to me. And I just hope you guys have a lovely, wonderful, fantastic day, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!